In this lesson, we are going to learn how to divide a whole number by a fraction. We're going to use the number 4, and we're going to divide it by the fraction 2/3. Right away from old lessons, you should know that anytime you're multiplying or dividing using fractions and you have a whole number such as this 4, you need to turn it into an improper fraction simply by putting it over 1. Now, anytime you're dividing two fractions, it can very easily be turned into a multiplication problem by looking at your divisor. It always is the second fraction in your equation, and simply turning it into its reciprocal or reversing the numerator and the denominator. So I'm going to rewrite my equation with the reciprocal of 2/3. 4 over 1 stays exactly the same. And 2/3 is going to change to 3 over 2. Now when we do this, like I said, it changes our problem to a multiplication problem. Now we simply multiply across our numerators and across our denominators to get our new fraction or our product. 4 times 3 is 12. 1 times 2 is 2. Right away you notice this is an improper fraction, so we need to divide. 12 divided by 2 would equal 6. And there is 0 out of 2 remaining when we divide 12 by 2. So instead of writing that 6 and 0 over 2, we simply write 6 as our answer. Now to model this math that we just did, and to help it be a little easier to understand, I'm going to show us, I'm going to start back with 4, our original problem, 4 divided by 2/3. Now anytime we're modeling an equation, we want to start with our first number, or our first part of our equation. In this case it's 4. 4 is a whole number. So I'm going to represent that 4 by showing 4 wholes, or as we've talked about it in class, 4 brownie pans. Now I've represented my 4, so I'm going to cross that out. The next I want to look at my next fraction, or my divisor, 2/3. We have the 4 and we're dividing it into 2/3. Or in other words, we want to see how many 2/3 there are in 4. So first I'm going to look at my denominator, and that's 3. I want to split each of my 4 wholes into groups of 3, because the denominator tells me how many equal pieces I have in my wholes. So I vertically represented 3 pieces in each box, so I'm going to vertically cross out my 3. And now I want to find out how many groups of 2 we have in our 4 wholes. So one way you could do that is you could circle every time you see 2 separate pieces in our 4 wholes. Another strategy is you could actually just number them. So I'm going to number each time I see 2 separate pieces. 1, 1. Here I have 1 group of 2. 2, 2. Here I have 2 groups. 3 groups. 4 groups. 5 groups. And 6 groups. I simply looked for how many times I saw 2, because that was our numerator, in my 4 pieces, or my 4 wholes. So we see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's none remaining, so our answer is 6. Remember, when you're dividing fractions, you look at your second part of your equation, which is your divisor, and you turn it into its reciprocal or reverse fraction, and then you can multiply.